Hello, how you guys doing? James here. Well, I'm going back to another relationship video, and I made the previous one about interracial couples. Well, we're going to tell you why some people have a really very strong feelings about the opposite race of their race, and I'm gonna let you hear some video, and
Kelly
I'm gonna
Blue
give my
Instant Cash Offer
commentary.
is an official offer to
This
buy your
should be
car. Just
interesting.
enter your vehicle ID information, answer a couple questions,
It just
then
gets
receive a
it
no
just gets
obligation offer to
crazy
sell it or trade
on
it.
these
Then
video
choose a dealer to
links.
purchase your car, schedule a time, and drive it with.
This is Mr. Terrell's channel.
Get what you wet. You know you should be planning for the future, but savings accounts suck.
Come on.
Reason is here, but I said, nah, I'm not going to take that from him. I'm going to let the title stick as it is with you get what you asked for. And shout out to J Cage for kicking off the super chat with the $5 B1 to the fan, B1 to you, and appreciate the contribution. So y'all, like I said, y'all see the title, and I have some people up there now. I'm sure all the people that y'all see in that picture y'all are familiar with, but there are some people I'm going to talk about that are not in the picture because I not forgot to add them in, but they weren't in my mind at the time of me making the thumbnail. So there's gonna be points where I'm gonna acknowledge others, probably like 2 or maybe 3 additional people, including the ones that y'all do see. So as y'all know, there has been a string of reports coming out this week involving all the people you see in the thumbnail, and then it's going to be me talking about or going back to some stories that I wasn't able to talk about, and even bringing up a story that I did talk about a while ago. When I say a while ago, I'm talking about pre-pandemic. That's how a while ago it was, but I remember the story. Some of you may remember it as well. But I said I'm gonna start off light with these stories because the stories start off light and then they get kind of dark. So I'm gonna start off with the lightest story and then go to the darkest story. And some of you probably know what the dark story is, but we'll get there when we get there. But there's some people out here that they are flocking to the other side and then finding out the grass is not always green on that side and it's kind of patchy. And they're finding out the hard way what it's really like over there. And like I said, it's crazy how all of this is just happening all at one time. It's not like it was something that's going on right here and then you have something that happened like next week. Like you literally heard all about this stuff literally in the last couple of days within this weekend where it's only Tuesday. But let's salute to everybody else who's coming in that I haven't acknowledged yet. Mr. Chris Alucard, 7944, DQ, Caldonia, Mark Stewart. What's going on? What's going on? We have 149 people in here. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit the like button. Again, this is not a topic that I frequently do on my channel. Y'all can go back and look through my entire channel. You will rarely see me do a video or a stream focused solely on what I'm about to talk about today. So consider this a rarity. Consider it a rarity. I have talked in passing about how I truly believe that the divestors don't have to simply just be the women. It can also be the men as well. And you'll hear 2 examples of that in this stream today. And we got our favorite troll up in here with Miguel Suarez, who's not here anymore, but I'm sure they'll probably try to pop back up under one of their many hundreds or thousands of troll accounts. So be on the lookout if you are a mod in this chat, because once I get started, it's going to be hard for me to really look at the chat like that. So the first person we're going to start off with, like I said, we're going to start off light with this, is K. Michelle. For those of y'all who don't know who K Michelle is, she got her start on Love and Hip Hop, I believe the Atlanta season, back in like I want to say like 2011 or 2012, somewhere around that point. She was a personality, I guess you can say, on that show. She had released a couple of albums. She actually has a pretty decent singing voice, but she also has, in my opinion, some self-hate issues as well, because she got a lot of work done, and some of that work that she got done ended up affecting her health, to the point where she had to go back under the knife to remove what she got put into her. And then she kind of like, you really don't really hear much about her now until this situation right here that we're going to go over from the Atlanta Black Star that was posted on October 1st, 2023, which of course, as we know, was 2 days ago. So it says right here, try it out. K Michelle sparks debate online after declaring her love for white men. And apparently, I think she must have put this in a song. Never heard the song, really don't care to hear it, but apparently it's in a song that she released. It says, vocalist K Michelle is promoting the release of her new album, I'm the Problem, as she continues to unpack her bold and honest truth. Well, at least she's being bold and honest to acknowledge that she is the problem. I don't know how that could mean, because that could be a few things. It says she was most recently featured as a guest on Revolt TV's Black Girl Stuff, where she spoke about relationships and dating outside of her race, which sparked outrage online. So she talked about this in an interview, not in the song. Now, if y'all know K Michelle's history, or you even watch Love and Hip Hop, it's amazing how one will act, like, say for her instance, will act when she say maybe with a black man, and how she will most likely act and clean herself up or straighten up for PC, because that's what Eve did. You know, Eve, she doesn't do her Rough Rider stuff anymore. I mean, not that I would expect her to do it even at her age now, even if she wasn't married to who she was married to. But notice how she completely cleaned her act up when she got with her husband, who we all know is a PC man. Remember, she was quoted as saying that this man tamed her. And I'm like, tamed you? I'm like, a human taming another human, so you consider yourself an animal now? But I'm just saying, pay attention to how many of them act or try to, straighten themselves out when it comes to PC individuals. And that goes for man or woman, but especially the women. During the interview, one of 4 hosts, Akila Friend, asks why she views herself as the problem, which K Michelle believes came from setting boundaries or saying no if it doesn't feel right. I'm going to be the problem because I'm going to be the solution for myself, the outspoken artist continued. You're not going to make me do nothing that I'm going to have to deal with at home, and I dealt with that in reality TV. But when it comes to men and dating, the former Love and Hip Hop cast member said, relationships, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I'm sick of it. I am sick. I am not doing relationships at all. Another host, Brie Renee, then chimed in, reminding K Michelle that she said she would date a white man. Now listen to that. She said she's not doing relationships, but one of the hosts of the show said, but wait a minute, you're quoted as saying you would date a white man. So which is it? So it sounds to me like when she says she's done with relationships, it sounds to me like she's done with relationships dealing with black men. And shout out to Black Voltron Reloaded for the $49.99 super chat. He says, good afternoon and a big B1 salute to you, bro, Torian Rain Reloaded, the moderators, the B1 certified family. All these poor divestors are taking big time losses, LOL, and I feel nothing too. I appreciate it, as I think most of us in this chat feel the same sentiments, which is absolutely nothing. It goes on to say, I love a white man, said Drake would love me, said the Drake would love me recording artist. I ain't never had a white man, Renee responded. Well, you need to try it out, the former Miss FAMU replied before going into a rant that ruffled more than a few feathers online. Let me tell you this, and people are going to be so angry with me in this sentiment, and I don't give an F. I will be your problem, K. Michelle said, slowly opening a Pandora's box. The R&B singer who has now grounded herself in country music. Huh? I didn't know she was doing country music. What a pivot. She went from R&B to country, okay. She said, citizens, important to love who loves you. Let me tell y'all something right quick. When I hear her say love who loves you, that's why I keep telling y'all the female divester and the male divester literally are linked with each other, because I've heard a lot of male divestors say that same thing. Maybe not in that same context, but a lot of them will tend to say go to where you're appreciated or anything like that, but hers says love who loves you, regardless of race. It says she says she's spoken to a lot of black women who exclusively date within their race, despite how quote-unquote how heartbroken they have become. She understands as a black woman herself, but she believes there are more eligible bachelors out of other races waiting to love up on a black woman. Key words there are waiting. K. Michelle, do you think they're honestly waiting? Do you honestly think that they are waiting to love up on you? Maybe to lust up on you, and even then they're still not waiting, because for them you might come a dime a dozen. But this is what she's telling herself. And shout out to everybody that's in here again. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the like button. I would appreciate it. I just think women, black women, just people, you have to date what your soul needs, she added. K. Michelle's remarks did not go over well with social media users who blasted her in the comments after Revolt posted a clip from the interview on Instagram. Is she trying to say that white men don't cheat or won't break your heart? I understand the love who loves you part, but how does the only white men part fit? And might I add to y'all, most of the people that came at K. Michelle for saying this were other black women. I just have to preface that for y'all. It was probably some black men in there, but it was mainly black women that were coming at her for those comments. So these quotes that I'm reading are coming from other black women. Someone else said, I will just have to die alone because I only love black men. Another person said, it's not that easy. I'm attracted to black men. I'm attracted to only men. If you get it, you get it. Someone else says, don't fold, keep black love alive. Some people understood where she was coming from, and I guess these are the ones who was in agreement. Someone says, I'm adopting this love who loves you. Hell, I was open to everything else. Another person says, I've been saying this, you gotta love who loves you. And this is not the first time that K. Michelle has caused an uproar after expressing her love for white men. In 2015, she declared, I love rock, country men who wear tight jeans and have foreign accents. I love me a handsome Caucasian man. I'm really not into black men right now. They can date outside their race, and so can I. Now, she said this back in 2015. This is now 2023. It looks to me like her stance really hasn't changed, and she has literally broken down her type within the demographic. She said, I love rock, country men. Now, keep in mind, in the article, it says that she's now doing country music. So now this is her way of campaigning to get that white man. She says, you know what? I can't get one just doing strictly R&B and the music that I was doing. So let me go ahead and knock this country music out and see if I can get in there. She says, I love rock country men who wear tight jeans and have foreign accents. So she wouldn't mind being with a PC man who's from across the border. From across the water, as I like to call it, across the ponders. Or, yeah, she said foreign accent. I was about to say something that made no sense. So she doesn't mind dealing with that. She says she loves her a handsome Caucasian man. She's not really into black men right now, and it sounds like to me she's still not. And again, like I said, this was from 2015. You're talking 8 years ago when she posted this. Fast forward to 2021, after a man was caught lusting after the Can't Raise a Man singer, one person tweeted that K. Michelle tweet doesn't do you any favors, especially given she dissed black men for white males a few years back, which is cool since majority of rappers said her, you know what, stank. Now, I remember this. I remember when this went out, and it's crazy because that post went viral. I think it even trended on Twitter. It says, while many people are focusing on race, K. Michelle has had a history of just male bashing. During a 2019 interview with Atlanta radio station's V103's The Morning Culture, she discussed her toxic and physically abusive relationship with her former producer, Mickey Memphis Wright. She's spoken about their relationship previously on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, but while speaking with the radio host, she made a blanket statement that many believe paints her feelings about the opposite sex across the board. I don't think men are good people, she said. The reason for that is like for men to do things they consider small in the flesh of like cheating, you know that's going to destroy your partner, but you do it anyway. That's not a mistake. We watch the same story over and over again. Despite the backlash she received, K. Michelle always stays 10 toes down on anything that she says. So she's basing what was going on in a previous relationship with a black man, because her ex is a black man. Hold on, y'all. I told you that Roberto Suarez will be back. But despite her being with a black man, she literally did the whole blanket statement thing, where if one black man, like, you know, hurts her in any form of way, then that's a statement that all black men are the same. But that goes back to the comment that someone left right here where it says, is she trying to say that white men don't cheat or won't break your heart? Which tells me that, and also when, remember she said she's not open to relationships right now, but she's declaring her love for white men.
That's where the concern comes in for potential flooding.
It's a lot of layers to this thing. The thing is, I probably could have read this thing backwards and still got the gist of what I was just reading.
Expecting the heaviest rain to occur. Now, there's rain across the region. It's just that axis will see heaviest.
Now, as far as I know, K. Michelle is not in a relationship at the moment. But what she did right here is she threw out her bait. She threw out her bait. She put it on a hook and she threw it out into the water to see what PC fish she can gather. That's basically what it boils down to. And something tells me she will grab grab any fish that she can get, no matter how, I guess you can say, appealing or not appealing it may be. Right, Peter Chicago, the bed winch application. This is her audition piece. I think this is the best way to put it. This is her audition piece. That's basically what it is. But that's K. Michelle right there. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comment section. And shout out to the 310 people that are in here so far. Again, we are just still at the beginning, y'all. We got a few more to go. Serve Facton said them white boys will eat anything. They said she's been saying this about white men and doesn't have one, or is he still waiting to to love up on her? Someone else says, I think these women are just angry and venting. There are no white men on that horizon. Miss Renee says she will be lucky like Judy Smith. And so on and so forth. But shout out to everybody that's in here. Again, if you have not done so already, go ahead and hit the like button. If you are new, welcome, and hit that subscribe button. So now we got K. Michelle out the way. Now we're going to move on to a male. Of course, if y'all are new to my channel, I do not, I'm an equal opportunity offender. So I talk about a little bit of everybody over here. It's not one-sided. And the person we're going to talk about today is Terrell Owens. Now, this is also coming from the Atlanta Black Star, and this article was posted yesterday. that Till Dog 12 wrote that comment that he just did because he said it sounds like she's trying to one up Terrell Owens. Why you have to try to spoil it before I even get into it? But basically, what Till Dog is saying is actually true. Because as I go through this article, listen to how similar it sounds to the K. Michelle one. It sounds eerily similar. Terrell Owens claims he, quote unquote, gravitated toward dating white women because black women teased him, quote unquote, for being dark skinned. Now, let me just point this out right quick. Terrell Owens has actually a few, I don't know how many, maybe someone can tell me a number in the chat, but he has more than one baby mama. And to my knowledge, all of them are black. And I think all of them are like at least his complexion. Or maybe a shade lighter. So my question to Terrell Owens is this. What complexion of black women teased you when you were young?
White.
And also it's telling me that Terrell Owens is saying that a black woman is good to put a baby in, not to date, not to marry, but that white woman, that Becky, that Karen, that Heather, that Hannah, he wants to create a legacy with.
Oh Lord.
A lady 747 say he has 4. So he has 4 baby mamas. I'm assuming 4 children if there is one per woman. And all of them were black. Notice none of them were white, like the women he says that he wants to be with. Maybe that's a telltale sign right there to Terrell Owens that they are not going to just allow you to make them baby mama number 5. But let's go ahead and get into it because his article actually does have a small video that comes with it, and I'm going to play it because it actually gives his take because he was talking to Chad Ochocinco about this. Mr. Chris says, "Is Terrell Owens and Candace Owens related?" Not that I know of. I don't think so though. Former NFL player Terrell Owens recently had an interesting discussion about interracial dating with Chad Ochocinco Johnson on Instagram Live. Owens shared that he was pushed into the arms of white women by black women who rejected him because of his looks. Now look at this. He said he was pushed into the arms of white women by black women who rejected him because of his looks. Well, I got a question, Terrell Owens. What if that PC woman talked about your looks too? Is she going to push you back into the arms of black women, or is she going to push you into the arms of another group of women? Because that's what I'd like to know. Now, this is a stance I believe that he's been on for years. To my knowledge, even when he was a child or something like that, I believe his mother or something like that, he dealt with like verbal abuse from his mother. So this kind of thing started in his youth. This is not something that just started. But he's saying it's black women's fault that he's being pushed into the direction of that PC woman. No, Terrell, you are willingly going into the arms of that woman. And how many women is what I'd like to know. And what did they say? You know what's so crazy? RG3, Robert Griffin III, who used to play for the Redskins, he used that same line. He said that same exact thing that Terrell Owens said. And he ended up marrying a PC woman. I believe they had a child, but then they ended up getting a divorce. And then what ended up happening, he ended up remarrying another PC woman. Stop saying that it was because of someone teasing you or saying something about you. You wanted to go there. No one put a spell on you and made you do it. You wanted, you did it. My first experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good when I started dating white girls. My first experience was when I went to college. I tried to date some black girls. When I was in college, they did not like me. I was skinny, I was scrawny. Wait a minute. You said I was skinny and I was scrawny. I hope that wasn't the insults, because if you're talking about I was skinny, I was scrawny, what does that have to do with your skin complexion? That's just your body type. That's your physical appearance. That has nothing to do with your skin. I hope it was more to it than that. The former 49ers player claimed he used to get teased between high school and college for quote unquote being dark skinned. There was a lot of I don't know who typed this. He says there was a lot of self-esteem issues. I'm being dead honest. So when I got my opportunity, my first experience with a white girl, it was like, okay, it wasn't bad. But T.O. insists that he didn't mean he only gravitated to white women, nor did it deter him from still dating or pursuing black girls. My thing now is because I know there's a stigma that the stereotypical of athletes, you know, to go off and make money and date the opposite color, the opposite race. But for me, where I am, it's not even about color, it's not even about race for me. Then why the hell did you just say that she was gravitating towards white women if it wasn't about race, if it wasn't about color? What is this? You see, he just contradicted himself. Just that fast. He says, for me, it's about somebody that I have some chemistry with and good energy and I get a good vibe with. That's where I am. Owens believes anyone who claims that looks and appearance don't matter, they are telling themselves a lie. He says, I attempted to date black girls when I was younger. I wasn't as handsome as I am now, he said. Okay, so this is the actual video right here. We're going to play it. I have it sped up. It's 2 minutes and 14 seconds. So let's see what he's talking about.
My experience with black women growing up wasn't so good. When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls was when I was in college. I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny. I was strong. I was teased from high school, even college. I got teased for being dark skinned.
Man, they teased you, come?
Yeah. So there was a lot of self-esteem issues.
Right.
No, I'm being honest. So when I got my opportunity, my first experience with a white girl, okay, it wasn't bad, but that wasn't. I just totally gravitated to white girls. I said that wasn't the situation. So again, my experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. So, but that still didn't deter me from still dating or with black girls. So my thing now is, because I know there's a stigma, the stereotypical of athletes, you know, to go off and date the opposite color, opposite race. But for me now, where I am, it's not even about color. It's not even about race. For me, it's about somebody that I have some chemistry with, good energy, and I get a good vibe with. That's where I am. Like I said, we all want somebody that's attractive. Right. You know what I mean? That is going to play a big part in it. Now, anybody says, "Oh, I don't care what the person looks like," that's a lie. That's a lie. We all want somebody that we can roll over and wake up to. You know what I mean? That looks pleasing to the eye. Everybody's experiences have been different. For me, when I grew up, I was at my high school pretty much is 50. I don't know what percentage is black, white, but I lived in a black neighborhood. So at the end of the day, I attempted to date black girls. When I was younger, I wasn't as handsome as I am now. I didn't have a beautiful smile as I have now. And you, right? Yeah, I was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
Man, when I bloomed, boy, did I bloom.
Okay, so that's the whole video right there. And I was looking at the comments as the video was playing, because that's the only time I really get a chance to really see what y'all are saying right there in the comment section. I feel like there might be some holes in his story, but let's continue this article. It says his remarks quickly sparked outrage on social media, with some claiming he's making excuses for dating white women. One person said, why you date white girls? Why you date white girls should never have anything to do with black women. Just say it's your preference and slide. Another person says, boy, just say you tricked your money off on white women. Now that it's gone, you're going to gaslight black women. Someone says he's saying a lot of nothing just to validate his preference. Someone else said he's lying. The one he liked may not have liked him back, but I don't believe not one black girl liked him. One person who believes Owens wrote, white girls will line up to date the awkward black guy that isn't what is considered handsome, fine, or cute. Between 2009 to 2011, the father of four had a reality series called The T.O. Show, which aired for 3 seasons. The show documented his off-the-field success as he navigated finding a new team to play for, moved to Los Angeles to dive into acting, and his relationship with ex-Kari Klinkenborg. Now, we know that last name is definitely PC. Owens was previously married for 3 days to... Wait a minute. Owens was previously married for 3 days to a white woman named Rachel Snyder, which ended in 2015. 3 days? Dang, he beat Kim Kardashian. Remember when she was married to, what's his name? That basketball player. 3 days? Now, I didn't know about this. It says he has also been romantically tied to a few actresses in reality shows, stars, such as Days of Our Lives star Felicia Terrell, Real Chance of Love reality star Kip Force, also known as Blonde Baller, and Candice Cabrera from Flavor of Love. As far as notable black actresses, it's been reported that he's dated Sanaa Lathan, Lisa Leslie, and Vivica A. Fox. Even though the 49-year-old likes himself and many women may like his looks now, the former football star is clear that not all white women like him. What's going on, Tamika? In 2022, Owens took to social media to call out a quote-unquote, I'm glad they brought this up, because that's a point I was going to mention if this article, if it wasn't brought up. Y'all remember last year when, and I talked about it, it happened in August of last year, so it was over a year ago, when that PC woman had tried to get him hemmed up and he had went live on his Instagram. Guess who was rallying behind him the most when that was going down? Black people. That included black women. So guess what's going to happen now, Terrell Owens? If you manage, and hopefully it doesn't happen, get hemmed up again, you're not going to get the support. I remember doing a video about that when that happened.
Oh, Jesus.
Exactly, Petey Chicago, and a black woman was there. She was across the street. She was telling them the facts so he wouldn't get hemmed up. It was a black woman across that street who was probably old enough to be his mother.
So, we got to do a good job of recognizing how they try to attack us, how to greatly practice.
Who was basically laying out like, nah, that white woman is lying her ass off. Which she was. Thank you, Sid. Chris Humphries is Kim Kardashian's ex. Okay, thank you. Because I literally forgot his name. I forgot all about him as a whole. It says he shared a video of the interaction with the white woman who falsely accused him of speeding and running a stop sign, which he disputed. He insists there was no stop sign and that he wasn't speeding. Owens also denied the woman's claim. Then he approached her aggressively, referring to her as Karen. The matter escalated after the Karen made racially charged remarks despite efforts by a police officer to defuse the argument. You're a black man approaching the white woman, she said while sobbing in a high-pitched tone. You put your car in park and you came after me. In disbelief, the retired baller said, here she is crying, there's Karen, I swear to God, I have never been in a situation like this. He later added, I've seen it, but this is firsthand. Perhaps black women made him feel uncomfortable in his past, but now it seems that white women in their tears might have trumped those teasing honey dips from school. And that's the whole article right there. I'm still stuck on the part where it said he was married for 3 days. Now, the crazy part about it is, I've seen multiple people, more so multiple male divestors or those who align themselves with that, who want to stick it to black women whenever something like this happens. I said that's why they do that tit for tat thing. Is so childish. But I've seen a lot of the quote-unquote male divestors or those who align themselves with them talk about this, but none of them, and I mean absolutely none of them, spoke about that 3-day marriage to that PC woman or that interaction he had with that Karen last year. I guess Operation Protect the White Woman doesn't only simply apply to the law. We have a lot of the bed buckets doing and engaging in protecting her too. Because everybody was rallying behind Terrell Owens when that happened. And we was glad that woman actually got some kind of a punishment too. But then to come back with this, it's like, okay, well, we see, it's like they see where your allegiance is. There you go. So the next time, and hopefully there is not a next time that this does occur, you are on your own. Amira B91 says I didn't know married for 3. Yeah, I didn't know either. That's why I said it shocked me. Like that part got me. He said that black women teased him when he was in high school and college. But you was married to a white woman for 3 days. What? Huh? How does that work? It sounds to me like you didn't even know this woman, or she didn't know you. Y'all just had a fling. That's all that was. That wasn't a marriage.
That was
Wasted all
lust.
that time and that ink.
That was lust.
For what?
I want you to check out this one video right quick. What this one woman did. She cheated
It's time to
on
pick up
this
my mom.
man cop. You probably heard about this story.
Oh, a new beard. I didn't know Sarah liked. There's been a lot of crime in PG County lately. And if you're wondering what's really going on, besides unfit parents allowing kids to raise themselves, looks like we also have out-of-control officers out here more concerned with having relations in marked cop cars than fighting crime in PG County. On Labor Day 2023, a PG County cop was recorded while in uniform at a park in Oxon Hill in broad daylight. Lots of kids playing outside because although it was a Monday, it was a holiday, so you had plenty of families out there. But this guy had no shame, him or this woman he was with. They had some inappropriate touching and kissing going on, and then the woman opened the back of the cop car, got in, and he got in right behind her. According to witnesses, they stayed in there for 40 minutes. That video made its way to TikTok, where it got millions of views, and now it's been shared all across IG and Facebook too. The cop car went viral, and since then, a lot was exposed about these folks. Turns out the lady wasn't just some random streetwalker. He knew her. She's been his mistress for at least 2 years. That's according to the mistress herself. And this wasn't their first time doing this. They've been hopping in and out the back of the cop car. The wife called the mistress a homewrecker, while the mistress clapped back with some words herself. I know it's a hot ghetto mess. Plus, Officer Marlett here is very sketchy as well. I'll tell you where PGPD dropped the ball. He wasn't even supposed to have the freedom or position to be doing this anyway. I'll explain why, but first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. My people in PG County, what's going on down there? Go ahead and drop PG County below in the comments if you're from the area. Much love to all of our Maryland people.
Coming up on this episode of Cheaters.
PGPD suspended one of their officers. That's 34-year-old Corporal Francesco Marlett. He's been there for nearly 10 years. He was suspended after he went viral when a video of him sliding in the back seat with a female now identified as his mistress, Virginia Pinto. Virginia, a Nigerian woman, is very proud of herself, by the way. She came out very sassy and unapologetic, despite looking like some filthy streetwalker. She said it wasn't just some little fling. She insists that she's been in a full-blown relationship with a married man for 2 years, and repeated more than once that it wasn't just a one-night stand, as if that somehow made her look better. Virginia was first identified by Officer Marlett's wife, Paula Marlett, who told her to, quote, rot in hell be in a fiery Facebook post Wednesday morning, just hours after her husband was suspended.
That's a black one.
I'm telling you, this viral Cheaters episode had Facebook on fire. Officer Marlett's wife, Paula, went on Facebook and posted a viral video along with a caption. She wrote, "There goes my husband and his mistress." Everybody started coming under her post, giving her support. She responded to the support. She said, "Thank you, everyone. Yes, this is a very tough time for me and my kids. As embarrassing and painful as this is, please check in on us. We need the support, the love, and most of all, the respect from the community and our families. Yes, I know what's been going on. No, I am not updating anyone on this situation after today. Virginia's husband left her a long time ago because she cheated, so she and my husband decided to do this behind my back for years. I'm not seeking anyone else's input. I don't need anyone's opinion. My life is my life. I will make decisions accordingly. I love you all except for you, Virginia. You can ride a Hellbee." And then she tagged Virginia in the post as well. So you had Virginia, the mistress. She came back talking crazy about the wife, which I didn't understand. Like, lady, you're wrong. You got caught with somebody else's husband, and you're trying to get sassy with the wife? You need to just fall back and be quiet. That's what's wrong with these 304 today. They talk too much. But here's Virginia replying to the wife. She said, not that I owe anyone an explanation. This girl has been cheating on her husband for a while now herself. I know everything. Everyone look, this is life and y'all know nothing. I've done nothing wrong. All I want to say is y'all have the wrong info. Paula Marlette isn't saying the whole story, which I understand, but please don't be mad at me because her husband wants me. Then there was a second video that came out showing Officer Marlon once again getting into the car with a female that is believed to be Virginia. This was a separate occasion. Virginia, the mistress, unfazed by it all, continued to run her mouth about the situation and told everyone that she was obsessed with white men.
Can't make this call.
Situation and told everyone that she was obsessed with white men. Virginia said, I'm living my life. I have children. I'm sure, as you guys know, I have a 15-year-old autistic boy. His father was Caucasian. I guess I have a thing for Caucasians. In my head, I've done nothing wrong. I'm going to continue living my life, doing what I'm doing. So she's saying that she's going to continue talking to married men. And she didn't stop there with the bimbo babble. She kept going. She said, in my heart, in his heart, I know that I've done nothing. He knows, Paula knows, I've done nothing wrong. God is my higher power. And this bimbo is absolutely delusional. She said, in my head, I've done nothing wrong. And then one thing I can't stand is when these Jezebel demons start talking about God. Like, stop it. There's nothing godly about you. Virginia's got 3 children, her autistic mixed son, and her 2 daughters, they look just like her. They don't have white fathers. And she's always wrapped up with her disabled son like he's her boyfriend or something. It's very creepy, by the way. Then the wife, Paula, made a statement to the Post Wednesday night. She said, seems like Virginia has a mouthful to give about me when her husband left her dirty A because she can't stop cheating and inserting herself into other people's business. My husband used her for relations because she was easy. I never put our marriage out there because, like all marriages, we hit a rough patch. We get through everything at the end of the day. Wow, so it sounds like Virginia was so trifling, her husband left her. She was allegedly cheating on him too. And Virginia is a vet, U.S. Army. So you already know, she was one of those Army 304s, handing out that nasty thought pocket to anybody who would take it. But she was begging the white guys to take it. None of them wanted her for real. They just used her up. All of these guys just use her in the back alleys and in the back of cars, and then they throw her in the trash. No, I take that back. They put her in the recycling bin, so she can be used again. It's also been revealed that Officer Marlett is not the only officer that Virginia was sleeping with. Oh yeah, that's what they won't tell you. It was not just Officer Marlett, but they don't want to further embarrass the department and tell the truth. This Virginia lady has really been getting around. Kind of reminded me of that Tennessee Police Department, the one with the married female officer giving up her thought pocket to everybody. The only difference is Virginia is a civilian 304. And just when I thought this past episode couldn't get any more trifling, it was revealed that this was not Officer Marlett's first suspension. It's number 3 for him. He was just suspended a couple of months ago back in May for DV involving his wife. After PGPD found out that he was putting hands on his wife allegedly, no charges were filed. They just suspended him for 1 month and he was allowed to come back to work in June. But his very first suspension in 2016, that should have been his last because he should have been in prison for what happened back then nearly 8 years ago on December 27th, 2015. At that time, he had only been an officer for about a year and he had a girlfriend with a 3-year-old son. That baby boy was KO'd by Marlett and lost consciousness. At the time, he was supposedly watching the child while his mother was making dinner. According to Marlett, he put his hands on that woman's child because he soiled the bed. Again, a 3-year-old baby peed in the bed and that was his excuse. They charged him initially, but ultimately the charges were dropped and his record was expunged. So yeah, that right there is why I believe he should have been behind bars from that situation and never allowed back on the force in the first place. But now he's living out this passion storyline Then you have Paula and Virginia exchanging words on social media. I just can't get over how bold Virginia was, reposting and responding to his wife like she has some sort of right to do so. Like, girl, you are out of order. How are you responding talking about you did nothing wrong? You know, Virginia, you should really get your life together. I believe the wife works in the healthcare industry, but Virginia, she's got all of this free time because she's unemployed and bumming off the U.S. Army, getting money from the VA, while also living at home with her parents. So this is why she has nothing but time to meet up with these men in the middle of the day in the back of the cop car for 40 minutes. She's doing all this rah-rah online, and because we have a new generation raised by side chicks in 304s, you have a lot of women saying it's not her fault and all this other stuff because she wasn't a married one. And here's the truth. If you are knowingly dealing with a married man, you are also the problem, Jezebel. Like, stop playing. Talking about how your man wanted me and all this other stuff, talking slick. But you know who's not saying a word? That would be Officer Marlett. He's keeping quiet, understanding that the less talking for him, the better. He's under investigation, and they are probably going to let him come back to work at some point. Even if they fired him, he'll get rehired down the street with another agency. Personally, I think he's in the wrong profession. He's jeopardizing everything for what they call jungle fever, but he's obviously got a thing for waddling around with this caliber of woman like Virginia. A full-blown 304, you already know. She looks like the type that will pass it out to anybody who showed her an ounce of attention. As for the mistress saying that the wife was cheating on her husband too, she's suggesting that the wife Paula could be a wild card, which could be true. This look right here says a lot. But when pressed on the issue, Virginia had nothing else to say. The thing is, it wasn't the wife that was caught in the back seat of the patrol car. So no one knows if Virginia is telling the truth or if she's just trying to find a way to justify her own behavior. I do know that Virginia is talking way too much to be out here jumping in the back of police cruisers and witnesses telling everybody y'all had the car rocking left and right in broad daylight in front of these children. Nah, Virginia, I really don't care what you're talking about. You're talking too much to be messing around with a married man. And then she kept saying the main point was it wasn't a fling or a one-night stand. She kept saying that she was in a relationship with him. How could you be this bold, talking about you're in a relationship with another woman's husband? It's the audacity for me. Virginia is saying they are all the bad guy, speaking on herself, Officer Marlett, and his wife. Sources say Officer Marlett and his wife will work it out, so it doesn't sound like he's leaving his wife for Virginia. As for Officer Marlett, the PGDA said that he did not break any laws, so she's not coming for him, and he doesn't have to worry about charges. When it comes to ethics, though, and code of conduct, this has got to be against code. He should definitely be fired at least. This is just unacceptable and embarrassing to the whole department, especially considering that Virginia allegedly slept with other officers, too. Ultimately, this is very nasty. Officer Marlett and his mistress, 1,000% out of order. It's just disgusting. And then Virginia coming out here to defend this mess, to make it seem like she's not as trashy as she is also disgusting. She's got some weird thing going on, and for whatever reason, she believes this is cute or something. Let's go ahead and get the conversation.
Hey folks, this is your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet, and I'm black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So, I saw a very interesting interview, and it was Terrell Owens and Chad Ochocinco just kind of going back and forth and having a conversation with each other. And Terrell Owens was basically talking about why he prefers to be with white females over black females, and his whole justification was that when he was younger, that black females made fun of him, or they dissed him, or just treated him very, just terrible and bad, and that's the reason why he prefers to be with white females instead. And he said he understands and acknowledges that there's a stereotype out there about black male athletes and celebrities, once they get some money, that they go out there and get a white girl. But according to him, black women always treated him terribly, so he had to be with a white female. And he's like, it's not that he doesn't like black women at all, it's just that's just his experience, okay? So that's his justification. That's what he says, right? And I've seen a lot of people doing commentaries on this, and I kind of want to give my 2 cents in here from a sensible black male perspective, as a black male who doesn't have an agenda other than black people being together and, keeping black people together. My agenda is not to tear us apart, or just not to make money off of this whole gender war nonsense. There's a lot of people out there who are just like that, who have an opinion, who are just basically trying to, keep the gender war going so that they can make money off of it, right? But let me just say this first about Terrell Owens' comment. So, for him to say that the reason he doesn't really mess with black women is because he got made fun of from black women it's interesting to me when I hear stuff like that, and I always find it very funny because it just shows just how similar the excuses are and the nonsense is when it comes to black male divestors and black female divestors. So they both have the same excuses even when it comes to, one of their many justifications as to why they date outside their race. They can't just admit the truth of the matter. They have to always have some sort of excuse. And you always notice the excuse has to do with a negative on black people. There's always some accusatory language towards black people. Because I've noticed so many black female divestors say the same nonsense, is that black men didn't appreciate them, black men made fun of them because of their hair, their skin tone, whatever, right? And that's usually the excuse you hear from the black female divestors is, I have to go with who loves me, or they have to go with whoever loves them. So you even have black males saying the same thing now. And I saw in the comment sections of these videos about what Terrell Owens had to say, I saw a lot of people even using the same language. A lot of these black males were using the same language that these black female divestors do, where they were saying that, no other race of man has this type of loyalty to his women or whatever, or like he shouldn't have this type of loyalty to a group of women who don't appreciate him, or he shouldn't have this type of loyalty to a group of women who treat him badly. Once again, black female divestors say the exact same thing about black males, that they should not have loyalty to people who mistreat them, right? So it's interesting that the black females and the black males have the same rhetoric on both sides. And I always say this, and then when I say this, people act like they don't know what I'm talking about, or they act like I just said that the sky is green, right? They make it sound like I'm saying something crazy or something that doesn't make any sense. But every time a situation comes up, you see the same type of rhetoric spouted from both groups. Once again, if they would be the best of companions if they did not have so much self-hate for themselves, right? They would get along great because they have the same mentality and the same view of black people. But the problem is they hate black people. Even though they are black, they have so much self-hate that they couldn't fathom being together, right? So I've gotten that out of the way. So, both black male swirlers and divestors have the same rhetoric as the black females, and they're both as ridiculous as you could think of. And I know a lot of black males will probably get upset with me for saying that, but people or men whining doesn't really bother me. It is what it is, okay? But I'm going to call BS on that type of rhetoric, and the reason I'm saying that is because a very interesting comment that I saw about the whole Terrell Owens thing was, asking like, why would, he's justified because why would a black man want to be with someone or be with a group of women who, hate him or who promote hate against him and everything else like that, right? But, white people promote hate towards you all the time. They've built an entire system around hating and not loving or not wanting you. They literally built a system to keep you at a certain level. You understand what I'm saying? They built economic, political, social, and whole medical organizations based on keeping you at a lower level than them. At the very least, really is to destroy you, but at the very least, these things have been built and it prioritizes keeping you at a lower level than them. They built entire political strategies around displacing you and disenfranchising you. They built an entire legal system on unfairly, treating you and making sure you stay locked up, lying on you and everything else. And they built an entire media apparatus creating a narrative that you are the worst group of men on earth. But that still doesn't stop you from wanting to be with a white female. You see what I'm saying? Like, so am I to believe that Keisha making fun of the size of your nose or how dark your skin is or your messed up haircut or what type of corny clothes you might have wore, that was worse to you than a system that's kept you from finding decent employment, a system that even when you do achieve a certain amount of goals, it tries to tear you down by not letting you advance maybe with your housing or reach another level of economics, or even if you do achieve a certain amount of success like Terrell Owens, you have an entire media apparatus that badmouths you or attacks you or tries to undermine you because you do make a certain amount of money. That's not as bad as Keisha saying you're dark-skinned booty scratcher or whatever nonsense people come up with when they're children. Because that's what it is. I mean, for God's sakes, guys. I mean, how are you really still hung up on some of that stuff? Because, I mean, we've all been made fun of when we were younger, both males and females, right? I've always said that, I've probably gotten some of the worst criticism and attacks or disses from people in my own family, to the point where once I did get to school and once I did get around other people, there was nothing they could say that could bother me more than stuff said by people in my own family. That's why I'm a roast master. I always say I'm a dragon when it comes to roasting, because my family hardened me up from, all the stuff that they were throwing my way. I'm the youngest of four, plus I had a whole bunch of older cousins. Once you got roasted by all those people, the nonsense that people say at school, that's nothing. I can return fire very easily in that type of situation. So that's why I don't get the amount of nonsense or the amount of weight that some of these people put on just getting called bad names or made fun of or rejected. Okay? When you have an entire society based around white folks that tears you down and degrades you, but when it comes to white people, you make individual decisions. Then all of a sudden it's, well, yeah, that might be true, but Becky loves me. Now, why can't you do the same thing when it comes to black women? Is it so you're making it sound like it's all black women who are mean and attacking you, if just because of one that you ran into when you were younger? All right, that's ridiculous, and it's extremely childish as well. I can understand past trauma having an effect on you in the future and as an adult, but at some point you have to be honest with yourself and say, okay, is it past trauma or am I being a coon? You might want to actually sit there and have that conversation with yourself and think, do you hate what you see when you look in the mirror every day? Right? The fact that you put so much blame on other black people for the negative stuff and make it seem like you've never met any positive black person at all in your life, which I very humbly doubt. But you make it seem like all the white people you've met in your life are nothing but positivity, which I also very highly doubt, right? Come to think of it, didn't Terrell Owens have a negative incident with a white female not too long ago? Didn't he like have an incident with like a crazy Karen or something like that? Let me go check real quick. I'll pause it and come right back.
That was the incident right there.
Yeah, here it is right here. I knew this happened because I didn't report on it at the time, but I do remember a lot of different black YouTubers talking about this whole incident. So Negro, you literally had an encounter with a white female where she attacked you for being black, and that just goes over your head when it comes to dating, apparently. So this white female, and remember her name was Caitlin Davis, and she called the police on Terrell Owens for walking through his own neighborhood and tried to make it seem like he was attacking her or about to harass her because he was this big black man and she was a white female. You remember that? This happened last year. Mm-hmm. Last year this happened. And apparently, according to Terrell Owens, he just blanked that out, apparently. You know, that part of his life, that doesn't exist. White girls are okay. All white females are so nice to him. Okay? They show him nothing but the utmost love and respect. So you see what I mean, folks? This is what I'm talking about when I say a lot of these black males who say this nonsense about, you know, black women made fun of them or hurt their feelings or whatever. They completely ignore the incidents with white females, and that's because they want to be with a white female. It doesn't matter what Becky does. It doesn't matter what the white female does to him. They'll always be his preference because he likes white females. He wants that trophy to have. And I don't know why Negroes just won't say that. They always try to make it seem like there was something negative going on with the black man or the black woman, and that's the reason why they're out there interracial dating. Just be honest about it. Stop lying. Stop trying to tear down black people as a whole. Stop cooning, and just be honest about why you have your quote-unquote preference.
I'm gonna leave that right there, but we all got picked on when we was young. But check this one. Check this one out. Yeah, we all been through that.
If AI collects your data in a forest,
and let me say this, because you have some black men that think that all white men want to desire you. They don't.
No matter what type of severe asthma you have, Tespire can help you have fewer asthma attacks and breathe better. Tespire is an add-on treatment for people 12 and over.
I want y'all to see what K. Michelle had to say. Y'all, look at that headline. Try it out. K. Michelle sparks debate online after declaring her love for white men. I want y'all to understand that this mentally ill black woman who's never been in a relationship with a white man that we know of publicly. Maybe she was in one privately because, that's the only way these guys will date these women. Look at the caption on this photo, family. K. Michelle says she no longer desires a relationship, but she loves her a white man. She's never been in a relationship with a white man. Y'all see what I'm talking about here? The mental illness, the worship. Look at the worship. How can you worship something that has never shown you an ounce of respect? Okay? Who are not going to save you when you're in issues. Y'all know what's really interesting? I've seen white men put hands on black women. I've seen Arab men put hands and feet on black women. Asian men put hands and feet on black women. I did a live stream when I talked about this black woman having an alcoholic drink thrown in her face by this Asian guy at this bar. I mean, black women are getting no respect from non-black men, but here they are
worshiping them. This woman has never, people, she has never had a public relationship with a white man ever. That's just like me. I've never dated a white woman, but I'm declaring my love for white women. How does that even sound? Why would I declare my love for something I've never dated? This is the majority of melanated women. And they wonder why black men are going overseas and saying to hell with these heifers. Look at their mentality. What's good, Swing Guy? I didn't see your name. Look at the mentality. I've told y'all about the worship. The worship is very deep in these heifers. It's very deep. This look at the psychology. How can you declare your love for something that you never publicly dated, that never publicly shown you any love? This is mental illness. This is hate. How can you declare your love for something that never showed you love back? But this is your westernized black woman, and this is one of the reasons why black men are going overseas. They're sick of your shit. They are. There's no excuse for this. And this is why these men are going overseas. And they're getting their passports and they're going overseas. And y'all tried to slander these men. Y'all tried to disrespect them. But then you got K. Michelle basically justifying why these men are going overseas. She's justified it. She has justified why there's a passport bro culture. So according to Yahoo, vocalist K. Michelle is promoting the release of her new album, I'm the Problem, as she continues to unpack her bold and honest truth. She was most recently featured as a guest on Revolt TV's Black Girl Stuff, where she spoke about relationships and dating outside her race, which sparked outrage online. During the interview, one of the four hosts, Akila, friend, asked why she views herself as a problem, which K. Michelle believes came from setting boundaries or saying no if it doesn't feel right. I'm gonna be the problem because I'm gonna be the solution for myself. The outspoken artist continued, you're not gonna make me do nothing that I'm gonna have to deal with at home, and I dealt with that in reality TV. But when it comes to men and dating, the former Love and Hip Hop cast member said relationships, I'm not doing that, because I'm just not doing, I'm sick of it, I'm sick, and I'm not doing relationships at all. Well, you are right about the sick part. I think you are sick, and I do think you need psychological help, K. Michelle, I really do. Another host, Bree Renee, then chimed in, reminding K. Michelle that she said she would date a white man. Of course, you got one of these divestors, because every show with black women got to have at least one divester, right? She said that she loves a white man. Said Drake would love her. Recording artist. How do you word this? She says that she never had a white man. That's Bree Renee. She said, well, you need to try.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your...
She said, well, you need to try it out. The former Miss FAMU replied before going into a rant that ruffled more than a few feathers online. Let me tell you this, and people are going to be so angry with me in this sentiment. I don't give an F. I will be your problem, K. Michelle said, slowly opening a Pandora's box. Pandora's box? No, you're just being honest about who you really are. The R&B singer, who has now grounded herself in country music, as if those people want you there, said it's important to love who loves you regardless of race. She said she's spoken to a lot of black women who exclusively date within their race despite how heartbroken they have become. a Umar Johnson. She's basically saying that these women are hurt while dating black men. Do you have anything to say? She understands as a black woman herself, but she believes there are more eligible bachelors of other races waiting to love up on a black woman. Where they at then? I don't see y'all with them. Listen, black women, if you are tired of dealing with black men, just leave. Don't date black men if you don't want to be with them. Because I think there are relationships, unfortunately, where you have black women who don't want to be with black men, but they're with them anyway. I don't think it's because they couldn't get a white man. I think it's because they know that if they start dating white men, black men are not going to take them seriously anymore. Yeah, a black man will sleep with them, but marrying them, I mean, these black men's egos is just not gonna deal with that very well. And these black women know this. That's why they will continue to date black men even though they don't want to be with them. Shout out to Liana again.
In love with them while never actually dealt with them as a fetishist.
Right, appreciate it, Liana. Right, like K. Michelle talking about trying something out, but you've never been in a relationship with one. You slept with them secretly, but you've never been in a relationship with them. That's even worse. It's even worse when you can't even point to a white man that you've dated. You were a fetish, probably a side chick, and you're telling these women to date outside their race, but black men can't tell each other to date outside their race. So we hate our mothers, we hate black women, we hate ourselves. I just think women, black women, just people, you have to date what your soul meets. And this is a woman who I believe is in a relationship with a black man, right? Saying all this. Imagine being a black man in a relationship with K. Michelle. Just imagine. Kathy Rodriguez says, I'm black and I don't understand why some sisters are encouraging black women to date white men like brothers, so I don't get the attraction. Well, Kathy, there are black women who have a affinity for anything white. Like when you see a black woman wearing blonde hair, blue contacts, right? You got black women that have like a hatred towards black men. They're going to be the main ones trying to hop to a white man. So that's why I believe with a lot of these women that they have issues. I think it comes to the fact their mothers used to worship white men. I think they just have a special hatred for black men, and they think white men are going to fix that, and it just never works. Because that white man you're with is just as broken as you. These white men that date black women, they are broken as well. You never see a white dude who has two white parents who comes from, you know what I'm saying? That actually date black women.
Have you noticed that non-black women overall who marry BF don't have these issues?
Right, appreciate that, Prime. Right, because those white women actually choose black men who are successful, black men who are mentally stable. They're not in the streets. They're not in and out of jail. They don't have baby mamas. They choose the black men that black women should be choosing. But black women, the only type of black man that they will date is a street dude. That's the only type of black man they're going to date. They're not going to date a black man who's educated, who's successful. They're just not, because he doesn't fit their stereotype of a black man. What they think masculinity is. You see, the only type of masculine black man that matters is a street dude. A man that has like 5 or 6 kids by 4 or 5 different women.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's right on that one.
K. Michelle's remarks did not go over well with social media users who blasted her in the comments after Revolt posted a clip from the interview on Instagram. Is she trying to say that white men don't cheat or break your heart? I understand the love who loves you part, but how does only white men part fit? Because she's a worshiper of white men. She's a country bumpkin that worships white men. They're out there. They're out there. Someone says, I will just have to die alone because I want to be with black.
I think I'm gonna leave right. Yeah, he's spot on, and funny. That's what they cater to the men like that who's in the street, who's a pookie. He gonna rise up, whatever. Make her go in and make him dinner. That's the only type of woman that she cook for, because he keep that drama going. He get that energy drama, and that's true. So that's why maybe some men who are not pookies in that sense, the ones who passport bros go overseas, and the men. That's why I said, oh, there's a certain type of black men. That's what I was saying is going to be here, and they're the ones that got the 5-6 kids. They've been out of jail. Sometimes they go to jail because they ain't paid their child support. Got baby mamas, and I seen some people like that. I live right next door to somebody like that, and that's what cater to it. I've seen it in my own family, man. I sadly to say it, my mother dated a guy that was, like I mentioned, was in prison, and this man had about 11 kids, and my mother only had myself, and I'm thinking to myself, of all the men, why would you pick a man that, even if I understand some men make a mistake and go to jail or prison, but why would you pick this Negro that got 10, 11 kids? Then he, when he comes out of prison, he got that mindset like he bragging like he's been in every prison, can tell you, and he's still stuck back in the 1980s before he went in, how he used to run the 5-figure discount game and everything. So I seen it. I know exactly what Jay is talking about. I sad to say it, my mother was one of those women, and he's no longer here, but he had about 6 million, probably about, and he just one of those, Papa was a Rolling Stone, lay every house, every home. He was that type. That's why I know this from personal experience. And then one of his sons, pretty much trying to get the same pattern, But luckily, the other ones did, but he was the only one. It was like a generational thing. And yeah, man. And some women like that, they do worship. Oh my God. I mean, it's one thing if you have a crush on somebody. Hey, like I mentioned in one video before, I've dated white women, but I've never, put down black women. Just and worship white women or any other woman. Even if I did, it's just enough to me. It's like it was just companionship. It didn't work out, and even if it was my next woman, I would put down black women, or just said, oh, there's some black women that made fun of me when I was in school, and picked at me. But there was some black women, and later on in life that kind of helped me out too. And so you can't, that's just an ignorant argument, and the same thing that should be with vice versa. It comes down to character. It comes down to a person's character. And I don't know why some black men and black women don't see that. It's the character. It's the people you run across. That's what you're attracted to. And jumping and put down on the other side, it ain't gonna get no better. Even if you meet a white person, you just met that good white person. They was just a kind-hearted individual. Just trust me. I don't care if you date 100 different white men, 100 different, for if you're a black woman, or if you're a black man dating 100 different white women. To be reality, not all white women, and I don't care if you're athletic, you're charming or not. I mean, just because they like going to sports or something like that, they don't want, when it comes down to making family and stuff like that, majority of those white women stick with white men. That's a fact. And it don't make that their prejudice, and white men too. it don't make that their prejudice, but sometimes you ain't their it's not, it's culture, like any other culture, and it's preference. But we tend to think that it's something good is on the other side. No, white people got just about as many problems and issues as some black people do. Trust me. They got just an issue. It's not like they like the next thing to God, you know. But and it's another thing. Hope you get with the right white family, because wherever you get with a white family, that when you step away, they bring somebody over and they start. And you got a biracial child, and they saying some crazy stuff in front of your biracial child, calling them the N-word and everything else and whatever. I have witnessed this. Y'all need to understand the other side. I mean, like I said, not every white person like that. That's why I say when you get with somebody, you make sure you gotta know them for who they are. And everybody smiling and say that they cool with it ain't really cool. Because in some form or fashion, maybe the media family might be cool, but it's always someone that they know that might say something about it, and they won't even check them about it. They won't correct them about it. They let them be racist right in front of you. I've witnessed that. I've known this. So don't think that the grass is green on the side. Then it's things like that. But make sure when you get with somebody, you get with somebody based on the character. Even if they're white, make sure that they have good character. That's the major thing. I'm trying to tell you, this is the truth of what I'm saying. And for Ebony Williams, she's gonna get a wake up call. She gonna see, and just like Terrell Owens, he saw like he was the first thing. Said that there's some, and like I said, I was a young black youth. Women used to pick on me. Black women would pick on me. And but then again, some white women like to play mind games too. I've had that happen too. So it ain't just black women. It's white. Some white women do that too. So we need to understand that. Don't single out. And then some people, like I say, and we got to stop labeling like this. And even though we all live in an interracial setting, no matter if it's music, it's entertainment, sports, whatever. At the end of the day, white people gonna be white people, black people gonna be black people. It don't mean that they're prejudiced. It don't mean that they're racist. They have a preference. They're gonna stay what they own. They're gonna provide their own. 9 chances out of 10, they're gonna take their own. Because some people can't handle that pressure and that taboo. Some people can't handle it. Some people don't bother. But people will oust you out the family, cut the association off and everything. Just for because even though we're seen on TV and everything like that, you got some white people that think that black people are the lowest thing than anything. And they're not the only one. There's other races of people too. There's some people Hispanic, there's some Asians, and other people too in their group that think the same doggone way. In America, and probably in I don't know about other places, but in America, you know it. Because when you come to the American shores, the division line come right here. We got every racial group there is. But the division line, reality, when you step away from those people, there's some words being said about you. There's some looks being cast on you. And sometimes you get about as worse as some gay people do. People in the LGBT community. That's a fact. So hey, but hopefully when you get with somebody based on their character, and that they will accept you. Because a lot of people won't accept you. And be careful where you go too, because you got some parts of America still backwards with that stuff, man. Some little cow towns and everything, little urban towns, redneck towns and stuff like that. You can take your white girl for a wife. You'll find out. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see. You'll see. Like I tell people, crisscross this country. You'll see what I'm talking about. And they make some places so bold, they make it very uncomfortable. But just be careful. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, black people, stop that. If you meet somebody of a different color, you're blessed to meet that person. Because not every people in that racial group want you in their family. That's the fact. Just as they know you don't mean that they want you. Just because they see folks on TV, some of us on TV, and they might like us, but hey, that's as far as it goes. America's a Simon Says country. Simon Says, well, till you appeal to me, then you all right with me. That's how the way it is. And some people won't directly tell you this. You will see in their reaction. When you've been out in the areas, you'll see how the way you learn about people's reactions, and you'll learn something. You'll learn about the code that they do. They have a code. They have a and that's the truth. But all right, then I hope you guys have a good one. Until next time, be blessed.